So basically the Sharknose is a collective group for every BMW from the O2s up to, but not including the E30. So all those cars from that era, they have all a very similar design trait. They have that pointy, shark-looking front to them. And as I said, it's a group, so rather than sort of fragment and split the car club into various niche sections, it's more pulling us all together. The cars of the similar generation, they all have the same oddities and issues. As a community, it pulls us all together, and that's what the car club's about. We want to be one car club, one group, one passion.
Over the years while I've been restoring this car, this model and this Sharknose Collection, they have been overlooked for a long time, but they're now supporting us. You just feel a bit more valued, and you feel like you've got a sector in the club for people like us who do own them and appreciate them.
I'd always liked the Sharknose styling. It started off with a 3 Series E21, followed by the 528, and then obviously the M5. The styling is just fantastic. We bought it because we could tour the continent in it. It's a nice large boot, and it's absolutely superb for continental touring.
We actually used it as a wedding car for one of my friends, and I decked it all out in flowers. It looked beautiful. We've done lots of holidays, Scotland, and we've been over to Austria, been on the Autobahn and done 160. On the Autobahn. It's just a lovely car,
I think the E3 is a really iconic car, and it's a landmark car for BMW. You know, as you know, they came through the 60s, it was a really tough time. They broke into some new ground with the O2, with the Neue Klasse, and then so they set their ambition and thought, let's steal some business from Mercedes-Benz. Enormously significant car, I think, because it's not just a car. You've got to remember that the M30 engine as well, which was introduced with the E3, went all the way through to the mid-1990s. Very high performance car. So early 1970s, 1971 when it was introduced, 200 brake horsepower saloon car, all-round vented disc brakes, all-round independent suspension. There's nothing really like it at the time. So for me, it's a combination of those factors. I find it a really, really interesting car, and I love driving it.
I've always been a car enthusiast, and back in 1985 I remember reading in the press about the E28 M5 when it was first launched. It seemed faintly ridiculous that BMW had produced a very traditional and staid-looking saloon car which could accelerate as fast as a contemporary Porsche or Ferrari. The E28 M5 was effectively a hand-built car. They took, I think, trimmed and painted body shells off the production line and then moved them to the motorsport facility where they assembled them by hand, and there's an apocryphal story that says you can tell which technician or technicians assembled each car by the distance of the spacing between the M and the 5 on the boot lid.
I'm really excited about the Sharknose Collection because I think part of the trouble with clubs is that they can be too broad. So I like the fact that the old cars are now all going to be under the same kind of banner or collection. So actually to have a group of us, I think, makes a lot of sense, and that's the reason why I'm going to stay with the club.
Just fell in love with the colour, which is Verona red, and the style. I know it's a straightforward 3-box section, but in my mind it's just perfectly proportioned and they've got it absolutely right. And yeah, just fell in love with it when we saw it. It's in beautiful condition. You can obviously see the family connection with the Sharknose cars. This one perhaps not quite so pronounced as some of the other BMW models, but the Sharknose is definitely there. It enables you to meet lots of new friends and people as well. Whenever I fill up with petrol at a garage, usually someone makes a comment about how nice it is, or even the cashier in the forecourt, someone always says something about it. Not being particularly mechanically minded, I'm not the sort of guy that can roll his sleeves up and do little jobs and repairs on the car. Belonging to the club, I can speak to guys and get the work done by people who actually know what they're doing, and they know what this particular model needs doing to it. So it gives me that confidence.
I think the design on the E9 Coupe is very classic. It manages to be 60s beautiful with a bit of 70s aggression. There's a lot in there. There are a lot of elements to it. There's the Hofmeister kink, obviously, which isn't anything to do with Sharknose, but it is. It's a BMW Q all the way through. I love the back end on the E9. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, but the front end is quite aggressive. And you end up with a car which is just a perfect mix, really. It doesn't look off from any one angle. As an owner of a BMW, particularly a classic BMW, the club is a great resource. For a start, it's a reservoir of enthusiasm. There is a huge amount of technical expertise, parts. People have parts that they don't want, aren't right, aren't appropriate for their cars, but are perfect for what you're looking for. It's just a collection of like-minded people that you can sit and natter to, you can learn from them, and it's just fun.